Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. So this morning I ended up marrying a couple. So I was like, you know what? Have I went over a marriage application with you guys yet? No. So I said, perfect. That's going to be a video. And so thankfully they didn't mind me taking a picture of their document, taking out their information, so we can go ahead and go over it. So let's get into it. Today we're going to be discussing how to notarize a marriage application. Now, I remember when I first started, this type of thing really scared me because I did not know what to expect. Originally, I tried to find a blank document like this so that we can go over it, but there is no blank documents like this online or anywhere. So basically, when the person gets these documents, it's going to be from the courthouse and they're going to have to sign and put information on it before they even leave. So there's never going to be a blank one. So I decided today I married this couple and I asked their permission to take this picture and white out their information so that I can explain to other notaries how to complete it, and they were fine with it. So here we go. Now, in the very beginning, of course, as notaries, we are going to look at their driver's license or their passport, whatever form of identification that they present. So you're going to look at it, make sure it's valid, make sure it's not expired. You're going to make sure that both parties look willing. You're going to make sure that nobody is intoxicated or high, or you're no doctor or psychiatrist or anything like that, but you can just use common sense and know if a person is in their right state of mind in order to be signing these documents, right? So once you do all of that, you verify who they are, you go ahead and you get into this. And I have some different knowledge in the back after we go over this, where you can just kind of like, if you want to screenshot it and print it out, just so you can keep it for yourself. But so here, this information will already be printed out before they leave the courthouse. The clerk of the circuit court, they're going to have them fill all of this out. And if you notice, you see they already have this stamp. So this person already did this, the clerk. You have your own portion of the application as the notary that you're going to sign, which is just this little portion here. The rest of it pretty much is already going to be filled out. You're going to ask that person just to verify, hey, you signed this portion right here, because both spouse signature is going to be here because they signed it in front of the clerk. So you're just going to say, hey, is this your signature? They're going to say yes. Perfect. So their names and their information will go here, but I erased all of that so you wouldn't be able to see that. And this is their signature and the signature of the clerk. And here, this is just basically other information like the county judge or the clerk, the county. I want you to pay special attention right here. This is the expiration date. As the notary, we have to make sure that this document has not expired before we complete it. So a marriage application is good for 60 days. So you see here, so it looks like it was issued on this day, on the 22nd. It was effective as of the 25th. So between that day and this day is when this document can be completed. Now, if they bring it to you and it's after this day, you cannot complete it. If they tell you, oh, it's expired, but if you can just date it for that day, I'll pay you extra, you cannot do that. So just pay close attention to the expiration date right here, okay? So then you'll come down here, make sure that everything is what it's supposed to be. You, as the notary, you're going to write the day that you're completing this document right here. You're going to write city and state right here. Right here it says signature of person performing ceremony. That's you. And FYI, you see it says use black ink. Do not complete this in blue or pink or anything else. Black ink only, okay? You're going to sign your name there. You're going to put your address And here, this is for witnesses. So now it would not be you. It would be two other people that could be a witness. And it actually could be their family members. So it could be brother, sister, daughter, whatever it is, as long as they're over 18. But this is not mandatory. So just to let you know, it's recommended, but not mandatory. You don't have to have witnesses. And you will put your stamp in this little block right here. And you're going to do your very best to put it in here without having it touch the other lines or go over any other words, because you want it to be legible. You want people to be able to read it and get all the information off of here, okay? So then here, this part here, you would not do anything because their social will already be printed here and this information would already be filled out. So when for yourself, this is the only portion that you're going to actually be filling out right here, this little square. And then here, I just want to go ahead and just go over a couple of things here far as, and this is for the state of Florida because that's where I live. And I'm sure other states have different rules and regulations. But for Florida, it just goes on to talk about how we can only charge $30. That's for this document. That is not including your travel fee, because I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, they're not coming to your house. You're going to travel to them, so you get to charge a travel fee on top of your 30. So, and any other things that you might do, administrative or whatever, for them, you can add that to this. So if they want you to scan a copy of this to their emails or do whatever, whether it has anything to do with the ceremony or anything extra or pictures or whatever, you can charge more. But ultimately, $30 is for the stamp, and that's for Florida. And then you can see it's right here. It says it based on the fee performing the ceremony, the maximum is going to be $30. But remember, that does not, and you can see right here, additional fees may be charged for travel and or additional services provided. So you see right here, you can do that. And you'll come down here, let's see. And this just basically goes on to tell you that the couple needs to already have that application with them. So you can't do anything until they physically have it and it's filled out the way it's supposed to and it's within the dates that they're supposed to be. Okay, it goes on to tell you again, 60 days. And as the notary, we must check the days and make sure that it's still valid. Let's see. And what else? It says that both of the members, so both spouses, need to physically be there. No one can sign for anybody else. You can't do this over Ron. It says it right here. It says, where is it? Where it's somewhere on here. You read it yourself, but I know I read it a little while ago, but you can't do this over Ron. So one person can't be in one location and you in another location and you do this. They have to physically be in front of you. And it just goes to give you some information. If the notary is an ordained minister or whatever, then, they can sign different ways. And right here, it goes over to let you know that witnesses are not required, but recommended. And then if they do have witnesses, then they're going to sign under spaces 24 and 25 where it says witnesses. And then this is just a little bit more information. And this says, which surprised me, honestly, it says that the notary is responsible. Of course, I know we're responsible for filling out that information that I showed you. But it says returning the document to the county office where it was issued. I did not know that. I have been doing this for 2 years. I have never turned in a marriage certificate. The actual client always have the envelope with the stamp and everything that they mail it back. So I'm not sure. This is what it says though. So you ultimately can look up your rules and regulations in your own state to see what's necessary. But honestly, for myself, I have been leaving that with the client, because if I'm going to do this and then drive it way somewhere, it's going to be more. But ultimately, and it says right here, it can be mailed. So the person that I leave it with is mailing this document. I'm not taking anything anywhere. But that's just me personally. Everybody's different. Make your own decisions. So here, this is examples. This is not written in stone. This is what you have to say. It's just an example. Now, if you look in the documents I just showed you, it says that it prefers that the wording is customized. So it would prefer that the husband and wife write their own vows, basically committing themselves to each other. But if they did not, and they don't know what to say, you as the notary, go ahead and screenshot this right here, and you will be able to perform it yourself. You will be able to say, hey, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to join Keisha John and Lisa, whatever it is. So you're going to go ahead, put their names in there, and you will go ahead and read this stuff out to go ahead and get them married. And then they will agree that they promise to sickness and health and cherish and all of that good stuff. They're going to exchange their rings and kiss. And so you can go through the whole thing. But this, what it tells you is that this has to be verbal. So the notary has to actually, you see right here, it says a verbal ceremony must be performed with an exchange of vows between the couple, reflecting their intent to make a legally binding commitment to each other. So it says the notary must not simply sign and stamp. There has to be some verbiage between these two people committing themselves to each other, however that may look. Okay? So, and that's pretty much it. That is the gist of it. And it's not hard at all. It feels a lot harder than what it really is, because technically you're just filling out this one little block right here. That's it. But you're going to go ahead and do the verbiage back and forth between them, unless they have their own words. And you basically, if that's what you want, you can just tell them, well, I'll be on my way. If possible, if you can just write a couple of sentences and get them ready so that you can exchange vows between each other, that will make your life easier. And if they can't come up with anything, then like I said, just go ahead and screenshot what I provided, or you can Google it. There are different scenarios where you can just Google it and find some good verbiage. It's not set in stone as to what you have to say. It's basically just that couple committing themselves to each other, okay? Alrighty, well, I want to thank you so very much for coming by my channel, and look out for some more documents because I have more coming, okay? Happy holidays.